Hey, today you get a look at the possibly new project. We picked up a new vehicle, kind of to give me another daily driver. Got to go over it. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the vehicle, and then we're going to go from there and show you some of the things we got to do to get her back up to snuff. So what we have is a 2003 Ford Explorer SportTrac. So simple things. We got some rust in the corner. It's a minor fix. She needs a little bit of rubber. They're okay, but they're not great. Somebody did a nice number on the bumper, so we've got to look into trying to get another one, or I might just make a custom one. Other than that, it's actually pretty good shape. Cab corners, one I think needs some repair. Hood release is frozen, so the previous owner, instead of cutting a little hole, cut that out of it so he could reach it. So we're going to make a custom grill for it and stuff like that. It's got a few bells and whistles. It's got the roll down back window. It's got the sunroof. It's pretty good. Power locks. Leather interior. Full stereo. Not a bad little truck, but again, as I say right now, seems to be having a little bit of an issue with the shifting. So we're gonna have to look into it and see what's up. Hopefully I didn't get the raw end of the deal, and we'll have some content for you. A few things. The heater's only got high. I've run into that several times. I've had a lot of vehicles, and the component runs, depending on the manufacturer, etc. They can get up to $80 for the little component that goes in it. But I've learned how to repair them. So I'm going to check that out, and if that's the case, I'll show you guys how to do it to save yourself some money. I've done it several times and never had it flake on me. It's always been good. So we'll get to little things like that. If everything else goes good in the driving, we'll probably change up the stereo to one that's Bluetooth. That one isn't. A few other gadgets and stuff. I have some stuff kicking around. I've got a double, it's a double DIN or an extra wide one, however you want to word it. But I have one in stock that's plays movies and everything else and has backup camera on, so I might put that one in it. Definitely need some brake pads, rotors, minor things like that, but I want to check out the tranny first before I go spending money on that stuff. Apparently this thing's been parked for 3 years, so you see a little bit of we've had some ice chewing at things, squirreled something. We got a little bit of noise. I think it's coming from the alternator. This mic picks up too much noise. Anyways, we've got a little bit of noise from the alternator. Other than that, it runs really quiet. And once it warms up, you don't even hear that. You don't hear anything. So engine-wise, she's good. No knocks, no pings. We're good there. Bit of mice chews here and there. So we'll see how it goes. Let's keep checking it out. Good thing it ran here with no problems. Hope I didn't do any damage. There's next to no transmission fluid in there. It's not even hit the dipstick. So I'm going to fluid that up and see. That might just be all our problem is, and fingers are crossed. I picked this thing up late last night. It was dark, it was rainy, and I just assumed everything was well. I didn't, yeah, I should have checked some things. Anyways, hopefully we're okay, or we didn't do too much damage to anything. It did run, it even ran this morning, it did shift, it did move around, so hopefully it's minor, and I gotta figure out why there's no transmission fluid. Maybe I got a leak somewhere, but let's get some in it and see where we go from there. Alright, so engine coolant was low. Oil wasn't too bad. It was down maybe a quart. We'll see. Transmission fluid wasn't registering. I put some in. It is now registering. But once it sucks down, we'll see. I'll probably need another quart. I only had one in stock. Uh, engine coolant, as I say, was low. We added some here and some into the reservoir. We got a good new battery in it. That's nice at least. Brake fluid was okay. It was just down a tiny bit, so I topped it up. Power steering was okay. It was up. Alright, I think I'm going to take it to the store, get some more fluids for it, get things topped up. Hopefully the tranny shifts fine now. If it does, then I'll get all the brake parts. I've already got them ordered, so we can get those in and try to get this thing so that I can drive it to work. Looks like I need some shocks for the hoods too, but we'll get there, a little bit at a time. We'll get it all done. Looks like these are shot. I have to use this to hold her up, but anyway, that's minor. The hood latch here is seized up really good, really seized up. So we got to get that all, and then I got to see if this cable here is seized or if it's just this part here that's seized. We'll find out. Okay, I got some of the parts I need for the Ford Explorer. So today we're kicking Moose out, and we're gonna bring the Ford into the garage and try and get the tranny lines fixed. Find they're leaking in the front. Not sure where exactly in the front, but they're leaking in the front. So we're gonna try to get that repaired today. We got some of the brake parts. Don't know if I'm gonna get to them, but I'm at least gonna try to get that part done today so that I can drive it without blowing up my transmission, and we'll go from there. Here we go. All right, we got it in the garage. Only problem is, even though it doesn't look it, it's actually longer than Moose. So a little bit of a tight squeeze in here. Anyways, I'm gonna clean up some of the junk in front of the truck here. Normally in Moose's case, I got the room, but I'll clean that up, and I got to get some heat going in here because it is chilly. We're like at -5, I think today. It feels like -10, something like that, Celsius. Anyways, I'll get to that and warm it up a bit in here, and then I'll show you guys what we're dealing with under there. All right, got a little warmer in here now, so we're back in at it. Got the hood up. Seems to be the problems down there with the transmission line. So we're going to see what we can do about that. Other than that, the car is very cool. I like the sunroof. That's neat. Not in bad shape, really. Considering it's a leather interior, it's not ripped up too bad or anything. Needs some TLC for sure. It's got the roll down back window with a big huge hole, which is nice. It's got the funky flip open, double flip open tunnel cover came with it. The back of it's in good shape. I say we need a bumper because this one got ripped, but I might have found one. So there's fingers crossed. Looks similar, same color. So I'm gonna go try to check that out later this week and get that replaced. Would be nice. So but today's mainstay is trying to find out what's up with this these hoses, and find out if we've got rotten hose, if it's the metal, if the rubber got chewed, whatever. So we're gonna go have a look at that, and let's see what we can find out. All right, my investigations, what we found out is that this line seems to be, I believe, okay. The second line down there, which is kind of hard to get a view of. Maybe, there we go. Anyways, the second line down there is leaking right at the fitting. Now, this is the factory rad with a factory cooler in it. For some reason, this truck has a second cooler. This is a second transmission cooler. I was thinking because of that leak of just putting an aftermarket in, it's already got one. But it's still hooked to the original lines for some reason. I think it was factory done, but we're going to try to run just off of this one. I'm not hauling anything super heavy or killing this thing, so I think it'll be fine. We'll give it a try. If I have to, maybe make a little electric fan behind it just to get some extra air thrown through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these two lines and put a neoprene loop in here so that it bypasses this rad. So it bypasses this rad, and then it'll go through this one, which it already is going through with no leaks, and hopefully that will fix our problems. And then we can get on to the other stuff like brakes. So I'll show you when it's done. All right, so here's what we've accomplished. Cut it off here and down below. Tiny little nub down there. And then I ran a new neoprene line between the two, clamping it here and on the other one down there. You can see the nice new clamps. One thing I do when I clamp, I oppose my screws, or the part that's closing. I always put them on opposite side, and I always do two. In the past, I found they leak if I only do one. If I do two and you go opposite sides, it seems to clamp the hose, just makes it better. Something that I've been doing for years. Mechanic showed me that trick, and I've used it for transmission lines before, fuel lines, and when I do it that way, I've never had a leak. So just I don't know, maybe a tip for somebody who needs it. Now I'm going to fill up the tranny, and we're going to fire up and hope that was the only leak we had. And then I have to remount the little rad because it's kind of rattling around. The rivets are gone, so I'll get that mounted better, and that should take care of our transmission problem, which is the biggest thing on this. As I said, I did find some parts possibly. I got to go check them out. I might have a new fender, so I don't have to repair that one, and I might be able to get a rear bumper. So that'll definitely speed up that process versus having to fix them myself. Not against it, but yeah, that rear bumper's, yeah, it's toast, and I would like the whole trim around it. It just looks a little nicer, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, that'll probably be on another episode. Well, I had hoped to show you guys a quick repair on how to fix these things. I can't show you how to repair that because that is too far gone. We've got pieces rusted right off. We've got it's shot. Normally what goes is this little piece here, and in the past I've literally just replaced it with a paper clip, wired in this side, wired in that side. Doesn't have the diode for the direction, but I've never had it give me a grief. Not perfect solution, but it does work until you can get the real thing if you want to go that way. In my case, I left one in the car for 5 years and it never burnt up. But it is just a diode. You can actually get that from your nearest little electronics shop and repair them too. To replace the things all together, this one was 55 bucks. So they're not drastic, but they're not cheap. Some of them are more expensive. It hides in a hole way down in there. I had to move my power steering, or sorry, my cruise control out of the way, and even at that, it was still a bugger. I watched a video. They were suggesting to take all this out. I didn't really want to take the time to do all that. I was hoping to get this done quickly, so I could drive this thing again, but apparently not. And with no fan, we got snow and cold, so I can't run without a fan. So that's on hold until I get the parts in, and I'll get back at it and show you what it's supposed to look like. Well, there we go. That's what they're supposed to look like. Nice and clean. Your springs and your diode. Nice and neat. In my case, I also needed the wiring because this is what the old one looks like, as well as the fact that it's melted. Tabs are still inside of it. Yeah, it's totally shot. So, there we go. There's the old one. So, when we pulled it out, it actually pulled all the tabs out from inside there. Oh, left one. So, yeah, it's just shot. Luckily, as I say, the guys hooked me up nicely. They got me this kit. Comes with a brand new wiring harness for it. And costs less than I planned. With the taxes, it was only 45 bucks. Better than the 55 I was quoted before taxes for just this part. So far so good. Fairly inexpensive repair. So we're gonna get to putting the new wires on, and then get this in where he's supposed to go, and let you hear fan working in all its positions. As an added bonus, the kit not only came with the wires, it also came with shrink tube butt connectors, which made reassembly a lot more pleasant. As I was saying before, this vehicle hasn't been on the road for 3 years. Probably moved around just in the yard, that's about it. It wasn't on a farm or anything, it was just a residential yard, so I don't think it's seen a lot of anything in the last little while. So I think a lot of the repairs are going to be more of that just maintenance stuff that would have been done if it was driving all the time. Cars don't like to sit still, that's for sure, especially in Ontario. Now I'd plug it into the new regulator and try it, but they're buggered to unplug, and then the plug gets in my way while I'm trying to put those two little screws in, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to hope for the best. Alright, AC's hooked back up. This is for the cruise control. Now, my cruise control isn't working 100%. We tried to give it a run when I was driving it the first day, and it tried to kick in and just wanted to take off on me. So I haven't tried it since, and I'm not really too worried about it right at the moment, but eventually we are going to try to mess with it and get it working. I do like cruise, but for now I'm going to get the unit back in, and I got to find out where I put the screw that holds it up and in here properly. And then this plug plugs into it in the front here. There we go. We just got to get the screw and get that screw back into there, and we're good to go. That should take care of that. Alright, so we get the fan off, heating system's turned off, turn it on. Hear level 1 going very lightly. Sounds like something's ticking in the fan there. Level 2, 3, and 4. Oh, there we go. Another one down. Well, that's all I've got for you this round. We've got another video coming up, some more of the stuff on it. We've got more of the brake work, tail light, and a few other issues that we're dealing with it. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That way I'll see you next video.